Hi, friends. My name is Nancy Boler, and I want to say welcome. And this is our Sunday afternoon practice of relaxation. So we will do some yoga, and this whole relaxation practice is from the yoga tradition. And technically, the name is Yoga Nidra. So this refers to uh, the practice of, it could be even defined as yogic sleep. So during this class, I'll start by talking just a little bit about understanding relaxation. So let me get situated here with my lighting. Um, so I'm so glad that you're taking this time for yourself. And to really recognize that this practice is very different when you go to a studio and practice together, mostly because of going somewhere else to practice, to completely put everything else down. So this is a little different practicing at home. So we have to bring in then actually inviting in your surroundings. Like if you were to even look around you for a moment and actually find or remember that you're at home. Um, we could, look around and maybe see distractions. You might even look at your computer and go, oh, this is a distraction. More deeply, truly for what they are, that this is a way that we can connect together, through the screen that we're sharing. And they might feel a little chaotic. We have a whole bunch of stuff we want to do, maybe. So the home can also be a place, though, where we feel safe. You're at home. So let's do letting yourself really connect a little deeper than to your own home. To feel really relaxed and at ease. Maybe even if you've just closed the door to other people in your house or something. But this is possible. It is possible to stop, give yourself this full hour and a half. And if you do this, an hour and a half treat. So I invite you right now to give yourself completely. Like maybe you sit right now in a way and put down the past, put down and be right here. And part of this then is just moving right into your body right now, maybe taking a breath. And as we do this, we really just start to understand what are the causes and conditions that lead to a sense of relaxation. Now, just this word relaxation can be described in many ways. So, one other way I like to think of it as a practice is bringing awareness. So, relaxation can happen when we choose to bring our full awareness right here and now, complete awareness. And this isn't accidentally happen. We have to consciously choose this. I'm right here. I'm completely present, even if you are distracted. We remember, like, oh, I see, this is a practice. I have to come back again and again and again. Um, so you might also want to take a moment, like before, there's some of the props you might need for later for relaxation. If you haven't done that yet, you might see behind me, I have some blankets. You might even have grab something if you have a like an eye pillow. And with an eye pillow, like a lot of things can work for an eye pillow too. Like and just kind of a heavy like a strap or just something that you can drape over your eyes can work also. So yeah, just reminding you that for this class, you will um, be invited to explore using these props to really stay comfortable when you're laying on the floor. Um, just like sitting in meditation, it might take a long time to figure out like what is it, what do you like to sit on, where your body can really be at ease, and you don't have this underlying feeling of discomfort where you just want it to be over with. So that's pretty important. Um, so let's do this. Let's just close the eyes for a moment, and I'm just going to guide you through a breath practice because learning too how breathing can help you relax or heighten your awareness. This is really an effective tool. So go ahead and just close your eyes. And first of all, notice like, oh, right, I'm breathing. And then you kind of take hold of the breath. You start to actually control it. Let's start with an exhale to squeeze out your exhale. And then just gradually, you're even regulating now the inhale. Breathe through your nose the whole time if you can. Just full, comfortable inhale. And then just letting go completely on your exhale. The inhale. And then practice being interested in this pace, the feeling that the breath is definitely longer than your typical breath, but it's still really comfortable. When you're breathing deeply, it's very natural to move into a position where the body is really spacious, where you have some space around your chest. Now we're going to start to move the spine with this. This is a seated cat and cow pose. When you inhale, you lift a little bit more to a back bend. So you really lift your chest up. And then as you exhale, you let your navel pull in and you round your back. And then you inhale and you come up. Pull your spine into your body, lifting up, and then that exhale to squeezing. Really tuck your tailbone under. And then just do this back and forth. Stay with this back and forth, nice, smooth breath. And as you're doing this, we're doing this really basic movement just to check out like how you're feeling today. All there, but you're just choosing to be here. You're not needing to fix anything right now. You're getting more interested in the letting go of tension and the fullness of your presence. And then just pause in a seated pose and move right to stillness. So you know the difference. Now my body is still. Go back to feeling this big wave of breath. Start with the exhale where you squeeze around your navel. You're pulling your navel in. Good. Now, as you let that go, you're going to take yourself right to your yoga mat and go ahead and recline on your yoga mat. And we're going to do a fairly similar practice, but just noticing the difference when you lay down. And why just a simple action of laying on the floor can be very, very effective. So as you recline here, knees are bent, and just take your hand on your belly and breathe to your belly. When you're laying on the floor, it's harder to slouch, it's harder to compress your spine. Taking one hand and just circle the hand around your belly. Almost like you could sense inside your body, there might be areas that really feel tender. You can almost sense like different organs in your belly. Good. And then as you let this go, just reach your arms above your head. Just big stretch, however you want to. Your hands could face palms up. Now we're going to take the right leg and just reach the right leg up. Circle your right foot around. Just let it move in a way that feels just really soothing. And then doing just a little action like a bicycle motion, but with just the one leg. So you're moving your joints. You could start to take the leg a little more out to the side. And however you want to move that one right leg. Keeping the back lengthened. And then bringing that right foot down. Left leg reaching up. Foot moving around. Keep breathing through your nose. Circling the foot. Maybe remind yourself, I'm giving myself completely and fully to this moment. Let your knee bend and start to do kind of a bicycle action without holding your breath at all. Breathe through your belly. Feel the space in your chest. Leg might go out to the side a little bit. Straightening, bending, and exploring with the left. And now you're going to extend and straighten both legs. Reach through your heels and then bend your elbows, taking your arms a bit more to a goalpost position with your arms. Breathing to the belly, breathe to your chest. Just reach your arms up and fingers to the ceiling. Now palms face one another and start to reach arms above your head. Up, long, extending your arms, and then bring the arms all the way up, all the way back down alongside the body, and then just reaching the arms up again, up overhead. So, kind of a steady, slow movement, doing this repeatedly. Feel your back body lengthening against the floor. So we're doing this practice of again and again coming back to the present. Go ahead and now hug your knees into the chest. So part of what happens is when we're distracted, we don't know that we're distracted. Now reach your legs out to the side. Just hold your legs a little bit as they reach wide apart. Take a deep breath, feel your whole body. So this is a training that we're undertaking here of coming back to the body again and again, coming back to the present. And then bend your knees. So let's roll over to one side, come right up, right back up to seated. And take your legs and just take the legs wide apart. Reaching, you might lean back a little bit here. I'm going to try to switch. I don't know. My lighting is a little off here. And then just face your right leg and take your hands and just press on that leg, reaching down towards your foot. And this is just a stretch. I will just say, just big stretch. Do it again and again. Press on your leg. Now, as you're pressing on your leg, it's kind of like a massage, but really also just a little friction for the skin, like at your skin level here. You don't have to move into like a big leg massage. It's more of just this nice sweeping action. This can really affect just the energy flow in your leg. And then switching, moving to the other side here. You could do a little bit of a squeezing as you're reaching down the leg. But then just getting into this big sweeping movement. Being sensitive here, just feeling how, what does this feel like in your leg? Good. And then as you release, you lean back a little bit. You bend your knees and you start to drop your knees back and forth, side to side. Breathe to your belly. Loose, loose. So we're going to take this right to a pretty big movement here called the half circle pose. So you're going to reach your legs out to the side again, and then just take your right knee and bend the right knee, bringing that right foot over towards your inner left leg. Now your right hand is going to really reach out to your right, and you're going to push into the floor. Like whatever is touching the floor, you push down, and you're going to lift up here and just reach up. Really lift the chest up here and let your head move. Like feeling your head. You might look down, you might look up, lift your chin, pull your chin down. And then the top arm, just let it circle or move around in some way. And then you let go. You come down, take legs wide apart again, and then just bending your left knee. Lean out to the left. Take that left hand way out there and push. Like, how could you push down here so you could just lift up? Now first, explore your head. The head tends to just drop down here. And that's okay if it drops down. And then we're just going to kind of lift, maybe look down and explore this position of the head and how this gets into kind of the hollows of the head. Lift your chin, pull your chin down, and then that top arm, like, oh, what would feel just right here to stretch? Bend your elbow and just move that arm around. Big body breath. Good, and then lower down. Now, as you let go of this, you're going to switch sides again. We're going to do this a little more dynamically. That as that hand, as that your right hand comes way out, you just sweep up, you move, lift the chest, and then you just come back down. And you go and practice kind of gracefully going to the other side. You lift up, and you sweep back down. Almost like this is a little dance that you're doing back and forth. This can be a good one too if you feel like you just kind of want to make up your own variation of this. You could do that. Make sure that breath is moving, breath is really flowing. Like through your nose, if you can breathe through your nose, please do. Good. And then as you let this go, move right onto all fours. So, as you're on all fours here, give plenty of space between your knees, hands under your shoulders, and then just start to move to your cat and cow here on all fours. I would suggest closing your eyes as you do this. So that the eyes, we close that the visual sense gate and you start to really look inward, start to feel what this feels like. So that you can deepen the sensitivity of what your spine really feels like today, what your belly feels like, your chest, your neck. So as we really start to create some space in the body, we also are bringing space into the mind so we don't get hung up or caught up in the words, in the thinking. And then just take the hips back, move to your child pose. Right back up to all fours. Take the knees closer together. So we're going to get into another dynamic movement here of repetition and breathing, where you're just lifting your knee out to the side or your whole leg, but lifting right leg up out to the side and then it drops down. And then the left knee bends, lifts, drops down. And just doing this back and forth, back and forth. Listen to your breath as you're doing this. Steady, smooth breath. And you could consciously choose to do that where you are kind of taking control of your breath. Nice full inhale, full exhale. and then pause, move back to down dog. Toes will tuck under, and as you start to lift up here, take a wider stance. Maybe walk your hands forward a little bit. So plenty of space, even the feet move apart. Ah, heels might lift up. Get that inversion or dropping your head a bit. Lightly touch the knees down, lightly back to child pose. And you come right up again. So here's our fluid action. You move back to your down dog, lift up, maybe lift your right leg up. You go back to down dog. You bring the left leg up, you just reach. Leg comes down, knees down, child pose. So keep moving through this. You don't have to add that leg lift if you don't want to. So we don't really want to get caught up in self-judgment or criticism as we do this. Most humans have a tendency to really get critical and judgmental. So rather, could we be compassionate? This is a great moment then of being compassionate and understanding. Maybe weave in now two things. You're going to bring a plank pose in, touch the knees down, go onto your belly, take a little cobra pose, kind of wiggle into your cobra. Lots of breath, space in your chest. Back to your down dog. You lift up. Maybe that other leg lifts up. The movement to your plank. Knees touch, your little cobra. But really, at this point, you could just let your body be your teacher. As long as you're moving and breathing and present. And just seeing just simply the goodness of doing this. This is like a little partial sun salutation without coming all the way to standing. Just a nice fluid, breathy movement. And then bringing yourself to standing. Maybe as you finish up, evenly your two sides. Coming all the way up. So as you come up, let's just take the arms a little bit out to the side and do a little twisting. So you really swing the arms. And the arms, the way that we swing the arms is that we move your shoulders. So your shoulders are really rotating here, and the arms are going along for the ride. Make sure that you feel really stable as you do this. Like this is a kind of a soft, tender movement. It's more about the repetition of this twisting action. How does this feel in your belly today, in your chest, maybe your joints? Now, as you let this go, or just now, we will actually more lift the arms where you're standing, feet a little parallel, and you just reach up with that right arm, way up. Now, lift your navel as you do this. Really get that kind of hoisting up of your whole pelvic floor, and then just switch sides. When you do that, when you're lifting the pelvic floor, the tendency is that you will lift your legs up a little bit, like you'll really straighten your legs and ground your feet. This really tall curvature here. Switch sides again. You might even take your right hip, kind of press it out to the right, even just an inch. And then switching. Keeping the neck really relaxed here, not gripping and tensing your neck. Good. As you let this go, step the feet a little wider apart and then point your feet out to the side. We'll do our little plies here. Bend your knees and straighten. Now, when you bend your knees, let's take the hands just on your outer thighs so that you almost push into your hands to remind you that, oh yeah, this is a real opening, like you're reaching your knees way out to the sides. Repeating this. Even the weight on your feet, pushing really straight down with your feet. So this really shouldn't feel like an ouch in your knees. If it feels like, it's hurting, you might take your feet and just point your finger or your toes a little more forward as you're bending and straightening here. Keep this lift up through your spine. Reach your arms way out to the sides. Making sure the throat is really nice and open. You can almost sense that windpipe really open. Space in your chest, back of your neck, your whole brain. So here's the repetition again. Strong spine, grounding the feet, giving the body a little time here to open to this. If you want, you could bring the arms up, just a little variation here. Another variation is to bend your elbows, more of that cactus position, goalpost position. Good, and then letting that go. Take the toes now, point the toes forward. As you look at your feet even, you might even see that the toes slightly point in. Now really lift up through your legs. Lifting up your chest. The whole body lifting straight up. Take the hands just on the hips to remind you as you go to a forward bend that it's right. You might even kind of press in your hip crease here. So notice I'm not dropping my head at first. So the hips go way back. Legs straighten as you gradually fold over. Big breath can help here. You might even shift your feet. Maybe they go a little wider apart or closer. So really conscious choice of how far apart you're stepping here. And then your head, just let your head move. Let the head dangle. Shake the head. Little bend of your knees. If it makes sense, you have your upper arms on your inner knees.
And the arms are pushing the legs out. The legs are pushing the arms in. And then coming up, push into your feet, come all the way up, reach the arms way out to the side. Take your right foot and just open that right foot to the right. Left toes point in a little bit and do our repetition of right knee bending, straightening, bending, straightening. Just do a little movement with the arms as you're doing this. You're going to externally rotate the arms. And then you're going to internally swirl the arms. And yeah, that rotation is going to kind of spiral down the arms to your hands. Just explore this. Make sure you're grounded and that left leg is straight the whole time. Go ahead and make fists with your hands and do the same thing, same rotation. Keeping the throat really open and soft. Good. And then as you keep a little bend of that right knee, as you start to go to a little small triangle pose. So you just hinge over to the right. You take in that right hand up. Then gradually that right leg straightens. Align your throat. Align your whole spinal cord right to your brain. Opening up here. Re-bend that right knee just a little bit and come up. Toes forward, feet parallel. Go to your wide-legged forward bend again. And if you want a variation, take your hands behind you, interlace your fingers. Very strong legs. Remember that you're hinging at the hips. There's that hip crease. Strong legs. Draw the shoulder blades together as you fold over here. Steady, steady breath, finding the pose that works just right. Your body can choose the pose. And then coming up, push right into the feet, all the way up. Staying grounded, now open that left foot to the left. The right toes angle, point in a little bit. Start to do the bend and straightening of the left leg. Bending, straightening. Keeping that right leg really straight now. You reach your arms out. So exploring this space or the sensations in your shoulders and your hips. And the lightness, almost like you're lifting out of your hips the whole time. Arms start to swirl again. Feel the space between your shoulders, your neck. All of this is about opening up space within. There is this grace, steadiness, almost like a little dance that we're doing. Fists with the hands. Good. Now, we're going to keep just a mini bend of that left leg as you hinge over to the left. So when you go to triangle pose, it can be easier to not have a real straight left leg. just to create that awareness, ease through the spine, and then very gradually start to straighten the leg. Lengthen both legs, lengthen through your spine. Maybe that top arm comes up, but keep lots of awareness. Neck, throat, head. Lengthen through the spine. We move into these poses by feeling our way into it, not visually. Not like, well, I'm supposed to visually look like something. This is a deep feeling of ease. Now bend, little bend, left knee. You come up, all the way up. Good. Now as you take your feet forward, toes forward, step the feet together. Let's just keep the legs parallel here. Take a few big sun breaths. When you bring your arms up, though, get a sense of like the smallest little back bend. You really lift up, maybe look up, and then all the way over. And you come up, you push. So this is really a whole body practice here. Forward bend. Coming up. Fluid, strong, steady little dance here. Next time you're up, you stay up. You bring your arms down. Pause. So this next, again, repetition is going to be a balance with a twist. So I'm going to start this out kind of small. And if you feel like you want to use the wall, you would do that. So I'm just standing upright, and I'm going to start just by lifting left knee, bringing it down. Right knee lifts, bring it down. So it's almost like a little marching. But as I'm lifting my knee, I'm really paying attention to my bottom leg, the straight leg, and making sure like it's really firm and strong. Arms start to come out to the side a little bit as you're doing this. So you just get this feeling of steady back and forth. If this doesn't feel steady, you'll go to the wall. Get a little touch of the wall, or a chair can be good if you just go and touch a chair. Now, next time that you're balancing on the right leg, you're lifting that left knee, you kind of sneak into a little twist. The right hand reaching across, taller as you're twisting. Little twist, and then you release, you come down. And then you switch. You bring that right knee up. You might notice, like you could stay looking forward as you do this, as you reach that left hand across. A little twist. Releasing. Go back and forth. And as you're going back and forth, imagine the space right at your heart center and how that stays lifted and light the whole time. You don't suddenly compress and collapse through your spine. Okay? No strain, just a whole body. Awareness, really abiding by what's appearing today. Keep your throat, your windpipe aligned so you can sense the free breath. It's nice to do twists when you just do this little repetition back and forth. Good. And then just releasing, bring yourself down to the mat. As you come down, you're going to be on all fours. And we're going to do kind of a cat and cow, but with our big leg kick and breathing here. So you're going to take your knees close together, reach your right leg way back, reach your chest forward. Shoulders are back. So this is your big inhale. Now, as you exhale, you're going to go to cat pose. You're going to round, bring your knee forward, and squeeze. Now, as you inhale, leg goes back. Now, I'm going to invite you to make that sigh or ah sound as you exhale. That inhale through your nose. That exhale. Breathing, moving. Switching. Right knee down, left leg back. And then just letting that go. Roll onto your back. And as you recline onto your back, prepare for a little bridge pose. So your arms are right alongside you and your knees are bent. You could even roll your shoulders underneath you a little bit. And make sure that your feet are really grounded here. Now, could we do this repetition of bridge pose where you build it slowly, almost like you're graduating into this. Keep shoulders grounded as you lift your butt away from the floor, even just a little bit. So you could feel like, oh, my shoulders are grounded. There's a slight lift of your breastbone. Feet are pushing straight down and then just lower down. Now close your eyes and move into this repeatedly. Lifting and lowering. Let your whole body breathe here. When you're lifting up into this pose, you're really pulling that tailbone up. And yes, you will use your glutes. You'll use the backs of your thighs, so your buttock muscles and your hamstring muscles contract to lift up. But as they're doing that, make sure you're also lifting your breastbone up and that your neck is really relaxed, your face is really calm, and the breath can flow here. And there is that lightness, even kind of that grace as you lift and lower. You can feel like the work of this pose, but you're completely at ease. Even your eyes and your eyelids are soft. Take 3 more of these. Just lifting, lowering. And after you've done 3 more, just practice being still. Spine is down. Not really trying to do anything. Belly softening.
And then gradually rolling to one side. And as you come up, you can grab all of your props and you can set up your mat or your position for practicing our deep relaxation. So, if you have been to one of my classes, I usually suggest some kind of blanket that would then go over your mat. Since you're maybe at home, you might have all sorts of props available for you to get nice and comfortable here. Cushions, pillows. You can even place your legs like up on a chair. You could prop your legs up on a chair. I'm going to demonstrate that. If you have a very sensitive lower back, putting your calves on a chair can feel really good. Once you're in this position, you just completely relax. The chair just holds the legs, and this takes the pelvis, so the lower back pretty much flattens, and you don't have any curvature, compression in your lower back. Now, that being said, I would say don't use a chair if your back doesn't need that. So that there is the really slight natural curve of your lower back. Preparing the body now to be completely still. You could almost imagine that you were handing yourself this beautiful gift. Knowing you've put everything else aside right now. Make sure your neck is comfortable. So when you now release and drop the weight of the head, even slightly kind of nestle your head. Like maybe rock your head back and forth a little bit so you could feel the letting go, the dropping of your head. That way your neck is not working in any way. You might sense the softness of the back of your neck. If you're noticing that you're holding tension in your belly today, you might place your hands on your belly or down by your hip creases, even lower belly. It might feel good to place a hand at your heart. Bring your awareness to your breath. Noticing this softness, the silkiness of the breath. And how, as you bring your awareness now to your whole body, it might be a very natural letting go. As you bring your complete, full awareness. Free of any judgment. We could call this a loving kindness practice. Right here, I care about my body. I'm going to move through the scan of the body. And as we're doing this, you might even imagine a point of light at each area. So as you bring awareness now to your forehead, that your awareness brings in this radiance and illumination. Your awareness is light. Your forehead. Be aware of the space around your eyes. Be aware of your lips. Bring your full awareness to your throat. Aware of your right shoulder. Your right elbow. Your right wrist. Right palm of your hand. Aware of your fingers. The right fingertips. And as you bring awareness to your whole right arm, what do you notice? Be aware of your throat. The mind is alert. It knows what's happening. There's a quality of compassion as you bring full awareness to your left shoulder. Left elbow. Left wrist. Left palm of the hand. Left fingers. Fingertips. And imagine the awareness as this radiant light. You're aware of your whole left arm. What do you notice? What is illuminated here? Aware of your throat. Bring awareness to the back of your neck, the back of your head. Be aware of your head and your neck. Be aware of your head and your neck and your shoulders. Bring your awareness to your upper back, your shoulder blades, the middle of your back, the base of your ribs. Sensing your, be aware of your whole spine, the space at the center of your chest. Sensing, feeling the right side of your chest. Mind is bright, interested. The center of your chest. The left side of your chest. The center of your chest. Journey within. You don't want to miss a moment. Be aware of the space around your navel. What happens when you bring this radiance of your full awareness into your belly? Knowing I'm practicing compassion. I care about my belly. May it be free of tension. And then full awareness at your right hip, right knee, exploring right leg, the right ankle, right foot, right toes. Just full compassionate presence now in your whole right leg. Be aware of your left hip. Your left knee, left ankle, left foot, left toes. Aware of your whole left leg. Sensing now, feeling your whole body just with this glow of gladness, of connecting, feeling your whole body, just being with your body. Sensing the breath. Now, bring full awareness to your breath. Natural waves of breath you don't need to control at all. So the breath really might be soft, soft little waves. And as you bring awareness to your spine, imagine that your breath is moving through your spine from the very tip of your tailbone. As you inhale, the breath moves up along your spine, all the way to the very crown of your head. And then as you exhale, it sweeps down, ending at the base, the tip of the tailbone. So if your breath is short and shallow, it might move quite swiftly. Awareness just sweeping through the body, connecting, moving deep into this inner landscape. And as you let go of that technique, simply bring awareness to your nostrils. It might be this real felt experience of breath moving through your nostrils without interrupting or disturbing the pace of your breath. Feel from the very tip of your nostrils the breath moving all the way up towards your sinuses. Sensing those channels, you might notice the right nostril feels different than the left. What do you notice here? You might feel the breath moving, sweeping along the top, kind of the ceiling of the nostrils, or the breath sweeping along the floor, the base. Maybe a coolness of the inhale, the warmth, the moisture exhale. Now, as you let go of that technique, just bring awareness to your whole body. And we are going to bring in an image. You're going to bring in the image of a forest, dense with trees. Not only is it dense with trees, but these are redwood trees. And as you develop this image, imagine you're standing amongst these trees. And there's a little creek that's flowing through the trees. The air is warm. Sun sneaking through some shafts of light. And you're just slowly walking amongst the trees. Practice developing this image vividly. You might notice there's sounds around you, scent in the air. As you're walking slowly amongst these trees, you can notice that you can feel their presence, their energy, and your connection. Their aliveness. Let yourself merge with this environment. And then let yourself connect a little deeper, maybe sitting next to one of the trees. Sometimes there's even a little hollow in a tree that you could nestle into. Whatever feels appropriate to be still with the trees, connecting more deeply. So your own essence, your vibration merges with that of the trees. Letting your heart, your mind, calm, yet energetically connect. Allow yourself to be completely part of nature, deeply remembering that you are part of nature. whole body, your mind, vibrant and alive, energized. Relaxed, at peace. Now, as you let go of this image, let's bring your awareness back to the space at your heart. Move into the stillness. Moving into the silence of this space. Om Tat Sat. Om Tat Sat. Om Tat Sat. Our practice is now over. You might very gradually start to open your eyes, knowing that ending our practice is a practice. How can we continue our practice? Maybe if you start to do a stretch or movement, breathing as you come out of this. Bring yourself back, gradually back up to seated if you want to. Maybe you want to stay laying on the floor for a while longer. So I'm just going to close our practice by dedicating the merit of our work. So just to remind ourselves that, taking this time really does matter, to put everything else aside, to do this beautiful sacred pause. We send out the wish that may the work that we do here, may it really help to decrease our own pain and suffering. And that as we stay grounded, how we stay lighthearted, and we build real strength around being peaceful beings, that other people will benefit from this. This is how it works. So may our hearts stay peaceful. May we be grounded. May our hearts be joyful. May we never stop doing the work that leads to peace in this world. I'm going to close with the sound of Om. Please join if you want to. Deep inhale. Namaste, and thank you so much, everyone, for doing this practice virtually like this. It's just so much gratitude in my heart. If you feel free, like leaving a little comment in the chat, it's always kind of sweet to know maybe who's been here, or yeah, any comments, even leave a comment of how your practice went today. If you want to, you may just leave the chat open for a minute or so if you want to do that. Thanks, Sandy. Oh, great to have you here, Karen. Neighbor. Mm, Moi, Stace. Back to you. Thank you for practicing, Bev. Yep. May you be at ease.